Some games don't just release, they arrive with huge expectation. Trailers are dropping, hype keep building, and the next wave of titles is getting closer than ever. If you want to know which upcoming games people can't stop talking about right now, this is where the countdown really starts.
It's been a while since you've been back there.
Yeah.
Silent Hill Townfall centers on Simon Ordell, a man pulled back to the isolated coastal town of St. Amelia in 1996, trying to uncover fragments of a past that refuses to stay buried. The setting shifts the series into a cold Scottish environment filled with fog, abandoned docks, and quiet tension, giving the story a more intimate psychological tone rather than loud horror moments. Gameplay shifts into a first-person survival horror style built around exploration, evasion, and narrative puzzles. Simon carries a small CRT-style device called the CRTV, used to track unstable signals and detect threats, while melee weapons and stealth become part of surviving encounters instead of constant combat. Static signals, old screens, and fragmented memories shape the experience, giving the game a more experimental tone while still keeping that classic Silent Hill identity.
Different. I keep trying to fix what happened. But no matter what I do,
You can't fix it. It doesn't let us change things. You did what you did.
They don't remember when it started. Only how it ended. Every legend has a beginning, Jonathan. I'm not a legend. This task will buy your freedom.
Untitled John Wick game turns the legendary assassin we've watched for years on the big screen into a full action game experience, expanding the underworld story with new missions and characters tied to the film universe. Instead of retelling the movies, the game explores fresh events around John Wick's life. Exploration moves through mission-based locations connected to the assassin world, including underground clubs, luxury hotels, and dark city streets. Gameplay is a third-person shooter mixed with fast hand-to-hand combat, smooth movement, and cinematic camera work inspired by the gun fu style from the films. Fights focus on precision and rhythm, combining shooting, dodging, and close-range attacks to keep combat flowing naturally rather than feeling stiff or repetitive. Every encounter feels designed like a scene from an action film, creating a gameplay flow that feels stylish, direct, and instantly recognizable. Mudang Two Hearts tells a political thriller set in a near-future unified Korea, where Ji Jung-tae, a special forces soldier, and Gavi, a K-pop star hiding a dangerous secret, become connected during a terrorist attack that shakes the entire nation. Gameplay is a third-person tactical action experience that blends stealth, close-quarters combat, and gunplay. You can move through missions quietly, use gadgets like EMPs or lures, or shift into direct firefights depending on the situation. Enemy AI reacts dynamically, forming search parties or flanking you, which keeps encounters feeling alive instead of scripted. Exploration moves across city streets, checkpoints, and mission-based environments built with open-ended design. Instead of feeling like a traditional war game, the focus stays on emotion and character perspective, creating something that feels closer to an interactive action drama than a standard shooter. M.I.N.S.K tells a sci-fi survival story set in a ruined world covered by toxic fog, where you control an exploration android created by a lone engineer trying to stay alive. Instead of focusing only on destruction, the narrative builds around connection, especially when the robot meets another machine controlled by a biologist, turning a simple survival mission into a search for answers and reunion. Gameplay is a third-person survival shooter mixed with exploration, puzzles, and resource management. Energy works like both health and ammo, so every fight and movement choice matters, while a drone companion replaces a traditional flashlight to help with light and communication. Even with survival mechanics and danger around every corner, the focus stays on quiet storytelling and the bond between machines, creating a post-apocalyptic experience that feels more reflective than aggressive.
Always clawing at the surface like worms begging for food. The lack of understanding to push what we don't know when something should be left alone.
There's nothing we can do.
Retrieval follows Hannah Loesch, a commander stranded on the distant planet Rhyhalion after a mission goes wrong, forcing her to explore a retro-futuristic subway base filled with hidden secrets and abandoned technology. The story leans into deep sci-fi drama, touching on loyalty, friendship, and survival, while slowly revealing what really happened to her lost research team. Gameplay blends survival horror with third-person action and exploration. Instead of non-stop shooting, progression comes from moving through dangerous environments, managing resources, and uncovering narrative clues that explain the mystery around the base. What makes Retrieval stand out is its mix of cinematic storytelling and survival mechanics. The focus stays on unraveling a mystery step by step, creating a slower, more immersive sci-fi horror experience that feels closer to a dramatic space thriller than a traditional action game. John Carpenter's Toxic Commando takes place in a chaotic, near-future world where a failed experiment with Earth's core unleashes the sludge god, turning people into undead creatures and pushing a group of reckless mercenaries to deal with the mess. Exploration moves across large, apocalyptic environments filled with sludge-covered terrain, off-road vehicles, and mission objectives that encourage constant movement. Gameplay is a first-person co-op shooter focused on squad play, heavy weapons, and class-based abilities. Players can choose different roles, combine skills, drive vehicles, and fight massive enemy hordes powered by Saber's swarm engine. The game doesn't aim for quiet tension. It leans into loud teamwork, cinematic moments, and exaggerated action inspired by classic John Carpenter movies, creating a shooter that feels more like a wild horror road trip than a typical zombie game.
We gotta be ready. Nobody half-asses it this time. Ruby.
Ugh. On my mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Shot through the heart, and you're to blame. You give love.
Goddamn step.
It's me, please.
Better be a fucking alien.
Leave me out here, please. The question is, what are you going to do about it?
Directive 8020 tells a sci-fi survival story set on the colony ship Cassiopeia, where a crew searching for a new home crash lands near the distant planet Tau Ceti F. Earth is dying, and the mission was supposed to save humanity. But things go wrong when an alien life form capable of copying humans begins hiding among the crew. Gameplay mixes cinematic interactive drama with survival horror elements. You switch between multiple protagonists, make dialogue choices, explore corridors, and react during tense moments while managing tools like scanners, flashlights, and hacking devices. A new turning point system even lets players rewind major decisions, giving more control over the branching story while still keeping the danger high. Instead of pure action, the tension comes from choices, relationships, and the fear of making the wrong call when survival depends on trusting the right person. Tides of Annihilation tells the story of Gwendolyn, the lone survivor of an otherworldly invasion that shattered modern London. Inspired by Arthurian legend, the journey mixes a broken city with the mythical realm of Aphelion as she searches for the Holy Grail to save her sister and confront powerful demigods tied to the invasion. Gameplay leans into action-adventure combat built around summoning spectral Knights of the Round Table. Each knight has different abilities, and you can switch between them during combos, creating a system that feels more like commanding a squad than fighting alone. Instead of feeling like a traditional medieval adventure, the game builds its identity around stylish combat and a world where legends collide with a shattered contemporary city.
To pursue one's wishes is to court one's doom.
Gwendolyn?
Our focus, our true objective, is to save this world, our current world.
Need I remind you that tampering with history is strictly forbidden?
It's time I faced my past. Let's go.
Code Vein 2 continues the anime-styled action RPG series with a darker world where revenants and humans struggle to survive after a mysterious phenomenon known as the Resurgence begins destroying everything again. The story follows a revenant hunter who travels through different timelines alongside a character named Lou, trying to change the past and stop the collapse of the world. Gameplay is a third-person action RPG built around fast weapon combat, blood drain abilities, and customizable builds. You can switch skills, drain enemy blood to unlock powers, and fight alongside AI partners who support you during battles. Combat focuses on reading enemy patterns and chaining abilities smoothly instead of relying on one repetitive playstyle. The mix of time travel mechanics, partner systems, and stylish combat creates a sequel that feels more cinematic and character-focused while still keeping the fast action fans expect. The Blood of Dawnwalker takes place in the Dark Kingdom of Vale Sangora, a land shaped by war, plague, and rising vampire rule. The story follows Cohen, a warrior caught between humanity and a growing curse that changes who he becomes after sunset. Instead of a classic hero journey, the narrative leans into difficult choices, family ties, and how power slowly reshapes identity. Gameplay focuses on sword combat, magic, and supernatural abilities that evolve depending on the time of day. During daylight, fights feel more grounded and strategic, while nighttime unlocks faster movement, shadow-based skills, and aggressive attacks that change the pace completely. What makes it stand out is the balance between narrative pressure and evolving abilities. The journey feels personal, shaped by choices and transformation, rather than a simple path toward becoming stronger.
I don't know. How?
I am life. I am death. I am everything in between. I have been watching your little valley. Pestilence, famine, killing, blood spilt carelessly like water. Things will be different now.
Aphelion tells a sci-fi survival story set in the year 2060, where astronaut Ariane Montclair becomes stranded on a frozen planet called Persephone after a crash landing during a mission to find a new home for humanity. The narrative leans into emotional storytelling and the relationship between Ariane and her partner Thomas Cross, mixing scientific realism with mystery and isolation. Gameplay leans into exploration, movement, and stealth. You climb icy cliffs, use tools to cross dangerous terrain, and avoid alien threats by reading the environment rather than relying on heavy combat. The pacing feels slower and more thoughtful, letting you focus on survival decisions and how you move through each area. What makes Aphelion stand out is its grounded tone. The focus stays on survival and connection, creating a space adventure that feels personal and emotional instead of loud or over the top. takes place in a vibrant, open-world city called Nova City, where a special task force investigates strange, supernatural events while balancing everyday urban life. Instead of focusing only on serious missions, the story mixes action, humor, and character moments, showing how each agent deals with chaos in their own way while trying to protect the city from a mysterious force. Gameplay centers on freedom and variety. You move across rooftops, streets, and crowded districts while switching between team members during fights, each with different abilities that change how encounters play out. Combat blends close-range action, gadgets, and environmental moves, while the city itself feels interactive with many activities and unexpected events happening around you. The tone stays energetic and stylish, creating a fast-paced urban adventure that mixes everyday life with supernatural chaos in a way that feels playful but still focused. Chrono Odyssey takes place in the broken world of Cetera, where warriors called Sentinels fight against a cosmic force known as the Void as timelines begin to collapse. The story centers on a mysterious relic called the Chronotector, a power that lets you bend time and change events after a tragic battle pushes the world closer to destruction. Exploration moves across a seamless open world filled with forests, snowfields, ruins, and strange zones shaped by temporal rifts. Gameplay mixes fast, real-time action with time-based abilities. Instead of just dealing damage, you can freeze enemies, rewind mistakes, or create openings in battle using the Chronotector. Different classes, weapon choices, and hybrid builds give you freedom to play your own way, while raids, world events, and crafting add more to do beyond combat. The world keeps changing around you, making every journey feel like you're chasing a future that isn't fully written yet. Phantom Blade Zero tells the story of Soul, an elite assassin framed for killing his own master and left with only 66 days to live. Set in a dark wuxia world mixed with steampunk and cyberpunk elements, the game builds its identity around mystery and revenge rather than simple hero moments. Gameplay focuses on fast martial arts combat with precise timing, combo chains, and weapon switching. Soul can use multiple blades and special tools called Phantom Edges, allowing players to change fighting styles depending on the situation. Blocking, parrying, and quick dodges are key, but the flow feels cinematic instead of slow, giving battles a rhythm closer to action movies than traditional RPGs. Instead of feeling heavy or slow, every encounter flows like a choreographed fight scene, creating a sharp, focused action experience that feels confident without trying too hard.
It won't make any difference at the end of the day. You know better than anyone else that no one could escape.
Everyone wears a mask. You too.
This is a real face.
He let you live? What secret did you sell him?
The convicts revolted and took control of the colony. They divided into 3 camps. The old camp is satisfied with the current situation. As long as they deliver the ore, the king supplies them with everything they need. The new camp, however, thinks they can use the ore to blow up the barrier. And then there is the sect from the swamp. They believe that a mysterious new deity will free them from their prison. Thus begins your journey in the open world of the Valley of Mines. Creating Gothic Remake, we focus on the 4 pillars that we consider the core of the series: simulation of a living world, exploration, story, and combat. Like the original,
Gothic Remake revisits the harsh mining colony of Murtana, where prisoners are trapped under a magical barrier and forced to survive in a world ruled by rival factions. You play as the nameless hero, an outsider whose arrival slowly shifts the balance between the old camp, new camp, and brotherhood. Exploration moves across a living open world filled with mines, forest, camp, and dangerous wildlife. Gameplay builds around freedom and consequence. Combat has been modernized while still keeping a deliberate rhythm, meaning fight reward timing and positioning instead of fast button mashing. Progression changes depending on which faction you support, shaping skills, equipment, and how NPC react to you. The world reacts to small decisions, and progress feels earned step by step, giving the journey a grounded rhythm that stands apart from more guided RPGs.
Do you need help?
A spirit guide? It's been a long time since we've had one of your kind in Kosmora. I'm glad you're here. That temple has been sealed as long as I can remember. Dangerous corruption was locked inside, along with the secrets of a forgotten practice.
Kena Scars of Kosmora follows Kena as she travels to a mysterious island, searching for answers about a growing spiritual corruption. The story feels more serious this time, showing how her role as a spirit guide slowly changes as she faces new challenges and deeper consequences from past events. Gameplay builds on the action-adventure style of the first game, with deeper combat system, new elemental abilities, and stronger spirit companions that help during puzzles and battles. The broken staff becomes part of the narrative and mechanics, pushing Kena to learn a more dangerous form of spirit guiding tied to alchemy and elemental power. The mix of calm exploration and focused combat gives the journey a smooth rhythm, making it feel like a real step forward instead of just a bigger version of the original.
Shadows at your peril. And remember, the brighter the lure, the sharper the hook.
Enshrouded 1.0 is set in the fallen world of Embervale, where player become a Flameborn trying to rebuild a kingdom slowly consumed by a magical fog known as the Shroud. Instead of a traditional hero story, the narrative grows through exploration and choices you make while restoring ruins and uncovering what caused the collapse of civilization. Gameplay mixes survival systems with action RPG combat and deep building mechanic. You gather resources, craft weapon, and develop skills through a flexible skill tree while fighting corrupted creatures and powerful boss. Combat focuses on timing, dodging, and using different weapon type or spell, while base building use a voxel system that lets player reshape terrain and create detailed structure. The balance between survival, crafting, and exploration gives the experience a relaxed but focused rhythm, letting players shape their own journey instead of following a strict path. Yakuza Kiwami 3 and Dark Ties follows Kazuma Kiryu as he tries to live a quiet life running Morning Glory Orphanage in Okinawa. But conflicts tied to the Yakuza world slowly pull him back in. Alongside the remake, Dark Ties introduce a side story centered on Yoshitaka Mine, giving more context to his motivation and showing another side of the Yakuza world. Gameplay keeps the series' street brawler style, but feels more modern, with new fighting styles like Dragon of Dojima, Kiwami, and Ryukyu weapon-based combat that add more variety to encounters. Outside fight, daily activities such as helping the orphanage, minigames, and side stories give the world a slower, grounded rhythm that balances the intense moments, while the other explore ambition and consequence from a different angle, giving the narrative more depth without losing the grounded feel the series is known for.
He'll try to stop us, and if he does, the resort deal will end up back at square one. Now, if we snuff out Kiryu, that'll also settle the eviction matter. 2 birds, 1 stone. From there, it's a straight shot to the PM's chair. Sound about right, Minister Suzuki?
Hello. A pleasure. I'm the Minister of Land, Suzuki.
I know who you are.
I don't like repeating myself. Pack up.
They haven't stopped. We got another eviction notice. I guess we might really have to leave after all.
Both of you are from the Ryudo family. You owe me an explanation for this. We pay our rent on time.
To turn around and get the hell out of Okinawa.
Bullshit! Don't you walk away!
Welcome. Dr. Gideon has been expecting you.
You there, Leon?
Yeah.
Hey, over here.
FBI. What are you doing here?
Would you like to see what's hidden under the hood?
Don't do anything stupid.
Me? Never.
Resident Evil Requiem follow Grace Ashcroft, an FBI analyst investigating a string of murder connected to the ruins of Raccoon City, year after its destruction. Her search slowly uncovered ties to her mother's past and eventually crosses paths with Leon S. Kennedy, blending a personal investigation with bigger event linked to the series' history. Gameplay switches between 2 different playstyle. Grace section focus more on careful survival, stealth, and managing resources inside tense places like an abandoned hotel, while Leon's parts lean toward more direct combat with smoother gunplay and defensive options. You can change camera perspectives and use new mechanic, like crafting items from infected enemies, or using zombie behavior to your advantage during fight. The contrast between Grace's cautious approach and Leon's experience gives the pacing a different rhythm, letting the narrative unfold step by step rather than rushing from one set piece to another. Grand Theft Auto 6 shift the series toward a crime story built around 2 main characters, Lucia and Jason, a couple trying to survive and chase a better life in a modern version of Vice City. The narrative leans into their relationship and personal struggles instead of focusing only on chaos. Gameplay: expand the open-world formula with large heists, high-speed chases, and activities spread across the fictional state of Leonida, inspired by Florida. Player move through busy beaches, swamp, and neon street, while switching perspective between the 2 protagonists, creating different approaches during missions and robberies. The overall direction leans more into character chemistry and atmosphere instead of just bigger action. The experience feels like a crime drama that slowly builds over time, focusing on tension and story rather than rushing from one explosion to the next.
Some time on your hands. I got some properties with paying tenants.
Oh, that's why you came by?
Just go get me my checks.
See you, Brian. Love you, Jason. I'm here for Lucia Caminos. She's supposed to be getting out.
What's your name?
Jason Duval.
I seen you here before.
You might have. Hey.
Hey.